Well, I'm Manuel Hassasian. I'm the Palestinian ambassador in the UK. Meetings like this are very important because we believe in people-to-people interaction. It's people like Bristol community here, the PSC, all these organizations that have laboriously, spent strenuous effort in trying to raise awareness. Institutions like this are the ones who are carrying the banners of justice and freedom.
I'm Eddie Clark. This is ARC Community, and this whole building is dedicated to fighting injustice. At the moment, it's for the Palestinians.
Today's event is really to provide an opportunity for those who are not quite au fait with the issue of Palestine to afford an opportunity to delve a little more, a little deeper into both the historic and contemporary to the present day. And this wonderful building is being transformed in order to accommodate that process. So it's almost as though one was invited to go through a journey, capturing, in a sense, the essence and also the very fact that there was a people with a land who was thriving indeed and who happened to be dispossessed as a result of many political machinations.
We decided to create this exhibition and it's about Palestine, it's about Palestinian people, and it's about all the beautiful life they had before the occupation, the British occupation and the Israeli occupation. I've been campaigning for last 30 years of my life, but I learned so much just putting all this information together by myself. I mean, I was impressed of many things I didn't know, and I thought I know a lot, but actually you really have to be, you have to listen to the Palestinian people, you have to eat their food, you have to stay with them to learn more and more. And these people are just beautiful people and really they deserve to have a normal life like everybody else.
Well, today's amazing. I knew it was going to be great, but I didn't anticipate it would be just this good. It's an absolutely brilliant exhibition. The history of Palestine, all the sorts of information about groups who've been there and experienced. So it's just a wealth of information here. And then just the talks, absolutely amazing, having live link-ups with Gaza and the West Bank and people there and the projects that they're doing and having that insight. Hearing the Palestinian ambassador talking, absolutely inspiring stuff.
Eddie is letting me have this space. Eddie and myself and a few others are going to do something with bikes. Okay, so it's at its initial stages, and the idea is to use bikes as fundraisers. The money goes to sending bikes to Palestine. People have to get up at 4 in the morning to walk, to queue up at 6 o'clock so they can be let in at 8 o'clock to go across the wall to work for the Israelis. So just to help give them something.
I'm part of a group called Circus to Palestine. We went out recently, came back about 6 weeks ago. That was in March 2013. We take a circus group, a circus show to children in the West Bank. And the very simple idea is that we take some laughter to the children of Palestine and share that joy with them. This year we also did a workshop as well as the show. So we would do shows to children's schools, refugee camps, Bedouin villages, and then we worked alongside Palestine Red Crescent Society, which is like the Red Cross here in England, and worked with their youth leader training program to train them in drama games to encourage freedom of expression and play.
Right, yeah, hi, I'm Bob. I was relatively unaware of what was happening in Gaza until maybe it was 6 years ago now, and I was involved in a peace movement, anti-arms trade campaigning. We, like everybody else, were hearing about what was happening in Gaza and Operation Cast Lead, so there was hundreds and hundreds of people being killed, and to us it seemed, it was just criminal what was happening. So a group of decided, we went down to a factory in Brighton, ITT, Edo, and they make the bomb release mechanisms for F-16 fighters. Got into the factory, smashed up part of it, took it out of action for about 2 weeks at least. We went to court, we were charged with conspiracy to cause criminal damage. We were facing about 5 years in jail really for that. So we actually did admit we did it, so we pled guilty, but within the charge of criminal damage there's a part of it called lawful excuse, and if you're allowed to use that as a defence if you're preventing greater damage happening. The Israelis were deliberately targeting the United Nations food store and a sort of bakery, so they were damaging the infrastructure, which isn't allowed in international law. So we quite rightly claimed that war crimes were happening and we were trying to prevent it. But the jury sided with us, basically, and we were acquitted. Although, high-profile things are good for media stuff, but it's just the everyday talking to people, I think, and getting out on the stalls. There's less risks, but as challenging in a way to talk to people who may have a different viewpoint. And I think that's really vital. About the arms trade is my particular interest.
Every 3 days, one Palestinian child being killed by Israeli army, and would we allow this to happen here or any part in Europe?
Sharing this passion and for this really important issue that we need to mobilise more on, and to kind of lobby on a governmental level for change, because we are totally complicit in this, and we kind of started it. So.
And this place is to create awareness, so more people will come in and they will know what's happening. When more people pressurize the government, our government or European government, American government, and this have to stop. This went too far.
It's with people like this who keep our cause alive and vibrant in the international community. The awareness of the international community is of utmost importance to put pressures on these decision makers, like the ones in the United States, the UK, Europe, to become more proactive in finding plausible solutions rather than in managing the crisis of occupation, what we like to see a conflict resolution.